easel.
Launching a satellite into orbit is not easy, and it's also not easy initially to figure out some of the more sophisticated and nuanced marketing decisions that goes into revenue hacking. So in this module, we're going to talk about reverse engineering the funnel using LTV and CAC and how this can impact your business. So a simple relationship between the LTV and the CAC that a lot of marketers have suggested is that if your lifetime customer value is 3 times more than the cost of acquiring the customer, that's generally a good rule of thumb that that's a good target persona for a company to go after. However, if you want to get a little bit more sophisticated with this, think about your funnel. And we're going to use an example here. Let's say that the funnel that you bring in customers with is that you start with an online ad that takes them to a landing page. Then you're trying to get them to join an email list. And after that, agree to a free consultation with one of your salespeople and then subscribe to the service. So now what you want to do is identify the conversion rate between the steps in this funnel. And now let's say that on average you found that the LTV for one of these personas is $260. Now the next step here is for you to establish the minimum gross margin that you'll accept for a particular customer. And what this is the money in terms of revenue that the business will keep in order to pay for running the business and hopefully earning profits. So a thin margin for like a really high volume business would be 5%. That's like maybe something like e-commerce, whereas something like professional services or consulting could be well over 100% gross margin that they would want to make sure that they make on every customer that they acquire. For our exercise, we're going to take 30%. So now you take your lifetime value minus your gross margin, and then you wind up with $182. So you can think of this as the total amount of money that you can spend acquiring a customer and still make your gross margin. And then you engineer the customer value at each stage of the funnel, go backwards. And then you find between that the conversion value for what it means when a customer goes from one point on the funnel to the next one. And you can use this information to guide decisions, like how much could I pay for a cost per click advertising campaign for each click? If there was a trade event that, for example, was going to charge me $1,000 to present, but I was going to get 70 email signups from these target persona people, then is that right? Well, in this case, it looks like this would be a profitable decision by about $222. So, in summary, a basic application of the LTV versus the CAC is the rule of 3 to 1. So, your budget for acquiring a customer should be about 1/3 of their LTV. But an advanced application of this theory is to reverse engineer the target funnel and then calculate the customer value at each step. Then you can also calculate the value between the conversion steps and use that information to make smarter decisions.